Here's the deal. If you are not protected legally, you are not doing a responsible thing. You have health insurance in case something happens. You're not trying to get sick. You're not trying to get cancer. You have car insurance in case you get in an accident. You're not trying to get in an accident. If you're going to carry a gun every day, you need to make sure you're protected, or you will not be with your family if something happens. Just protecting your family. You have to go in and justify what you did. You need to be covered. And yes, we are the most inexpensive. And yes, we cover you for more things than anybody else, including USCCA. Just saying. No, it's not.
We debate over what the Lord said about drawing weapons.
No, we're not talking about drawing. We're not talking about drawing weapons. We're saying when you put yourself wholly into something, your gifts will make room for you at the top. You will be seen by kings. It's in Proverbs. You'll be seen by kings and princes.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, what you talking about?
It's talking about if you got enough money, you can bribe anybody.
No, that's not. That's just something else. That is something totally different. No, that's talking about something totally different.
It's not about your gift. It's talking about money.
Where y'all getting coffee?
That's not what's talking. But okay, we gonna call it now.
You gotta ask Chris.
I got coffee from the gas station. That's cold. I want some coffee. That's cold. I got that earlier this morning. So, no, man, I don't drink ice cold coffee. I don't do that mess. It's cold now. I'm probably throw it out unless they got a microwave in here. All right. We want to.
Yeah, let's jump into
it there. Mm-hmm. I can go faster now because we done covered a lot of the stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're going on. And basically, I thought we have a bunch of people in here. So I was going to give the presentation. I'll make the presentation even shorter. Mm-hmm. They can contact you or put my information somewhere.
Just make sure I get your phone number and call for you.
So they can do that because I can give them.
I'm also posted on the video, scroll across screen.
Okay. Too. So they can get this because they can't get this online. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So my name is Marshall. I'm Right to Bear representative, just so you know. Tell you a little bit about me. I started my career out in Lafayette Sheriff's Department, Lafayette, Louisiana. I was a sheriff's deputy. This is in the 80s. While I was down there, I got my first degree because I had a couple of them, right? And when I got my degree, I was in the ROTC. I was commissioned in the Air Force. So when I was in the Air Force, my commission, I did 34 years, 2 months, 14 days, 9 hours, and 30 minutes. And yes, that is accurate, okay? All right, I retired a colonel, United States Air Force in 06. If y'all know Keesler Air Force Base, that's where the Hurricane Hunters are. They have 20 C-130Js. 10 of them fly into the hurricanes, into the winter storms. That's where you get information. You don't get the information from a satellite. You get the information from a C-130J model that flies into it with scientists in the back, and they drop sondes out of the back. That's how they get the wind speed, the wind direction. They fly figure eights into these hurricanes. Just so you know, that's not done with a satellite. That's done with people flying an airplane. Right, and they had 10 of those airplanes. You had 20 altogether. You had 10 other ones were tactical C-130s. A C-130 tactical airbird is a bird that goes in to a war zone and gets shot up, drops off stuff, takes people out and flies out and gets shot up because it's really hard to knock it out of the sky, right? You hit by lightning and still fly. That's why they call it the Hercules, right? I was a base commander there at Keesler. Y'all know Dobbins up here in Marietta? I was base commander of Dobbins, right? I retired out of Warner Robins. After on my 34th year, my second month, my 14th day, my 9 hour, my 30th minute, right? I retired there. So taught high school for a couple of years. That didn't work out because them students weren't ready for me and I wasn't ready for them, right? Different animal from when I went to school in the 60s and the 70s, right? Couldn't do it. I couldn't put myself in that situation. I had to do something where I was giving back. This to me is giving back, okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm informing people. Harrison loves to do it. All of them love to do it, right? I love to do it, right? I love to give back to people. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to tell you some things that you might not agree with. I'm going to tell you some things you may not like, okay? And I'm going to tell you some things that may confuse you because the laws are written. A lot of laws are written because they're political, right? So they'll do something and some situations will come up that don't fit the law and they'll fix it. And they'll come up and they'll do something, they'll fix that. And then you have OCGA 16-11 or 16, right? 16. Well, you can read that and read the tip country. You got all this stuff and you read this and it goes, wait a minute, you said this here, but now you're saying this here because something happened. The laws are written so you can have enough room for interpretation too. Now, what we want to do is we want black and white. You have nothing in your life that's black and white. Nothing in your life is black and white. Your love for your woman ain't black and white. I love you. That's it. No, this is deeper than that, right? So please understand laws are the same way. There are some laws that are black and white, but most laws are gray. Murder is wrong, it's black and white, right? But you got degrees of murder, right? Got some gray in there, okay? There you go. So it's, we talk about manslaughter, black and white, but you got some degrees of that, right? There you go. Everything's got some degrees. So now I'm gonna say some things, and Harrison's here. He's going to help me with this, right? Because I cannot give you legal advice, but I can tell you, I work with lawyers. I can tell you what I think lawyers will say. And this is for the state of Georgia. Let me caveat that also. We're talking to a Georgia audience. So people on YouTube and maybe people who are not in Georgia, okay? You guys, as Harrison said earlier, you have to find out the local laws in your state. When you're a right to bear member, when it comes to self-defense, we have attorneys in all 50 states. And when you become a right to bear member, you can call the attorney in your state if you're on YouTube, right? You call the Georgia attorney. Here, you want to talk about stuff. All right, so now you know about that. So let me keep going here. I wish I had my clicker.
Well, question.
But I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
So the gray areas would be the red flag laws issue that.
Well, I got videos. We don't have enough time here. I have a video where we don't have red flag laws here in Georgia. Okay, but what they're trying to do is, I know his name is Lim. I had it. I didn't pull it up. Right. He's Congressman Lim. He's trying to have red flag laws come into Georgia. Right. He's in the Georgia State House. He's one of those gun control advocates. And it was on the news. He was saying everything's done is done incrementally. He wants to put this little increment, and 5-6 years down the road, this increment will be added. That's what they want to do. We don't want red flag laws in the state of Georgia, right? We don't want that.
Can you explain to them what that is?
Don't vote for, and Harrison brought it up. So if you have red flag laws, now that gives the government the opportunity to come in and take your guns, and this is how. So you have guns, you're a gun enthusiast. Every time you go out, one time you got a long bag, you go into the range, you come back out, you got 2 small handheld bags, and people see this and they don't like it because they're nervous. They don't like guns. I hate guns. I can't stand guns. This guy's a gun nut, stuff like that. And that person says something to you, you're having a bad day, you react in the wrong way. You know, it's not your character. They say something, why you got all them guns? Because it's my right and I like guns. They get scared. They call the police. My neighbor's crazy. I felt threatened by him. He's got all kinds of guns. I see him all the time. Red flag laws say the police can now come and take all your guns. You don't want that in Georgia. You got people trying to put that. You got to watch who you vote for. Try not to be political, but that's what you vote for.
No, you have to vote for that. Tell them. Yeah.
You vote for that, that's what you're going to get. Okay? Right? So it's not here yet, but they're trying to get it here. They keep bringing it up, and the Georgia House keeps voting it down. But you get enough people in the Georgia House, in Congress, it'll pass sooner or later. But you got to make sure that you are involved in those things. Say, no, that's not, we don't want that. Because now people can say, you know what, I don't trust him, he's crazy. Come and get your guns. That's what red flag was. We don't have that here. Some states have it. Okay, we don't have it here. We don't want it. Watch who you vote for. Know their gun stance when you're voting for somebody, okay? That's not the only thing you got to know. But if you're a gun enthusiast or you believe in the Second Amendment, you need to know who you're voting for. All right, so now we're going to talk about this. Do I need a Georgia carry license? It is not a permit, it's a license. Do I need that, right? So here it is. Here's mine. I'm on my 3rd iteration, right? It's 5 years, so I'm going on 15 years having this. Do I need this? According to Governor Kemp, and I supported Governor Kemp, but Governor Kemp played a little politics. And I just move. Governor Kemp played a little politics here. Constitutional carry. It is your constitutional right to bear arms. What he signed into law was permitless carry. That's what he signed into law, okay? They use the term constitutional carry because it sounds really good, right? Makes you think that you're going along with the Constitution. It is your Second Amendment right to bear arms. Now, every state is different. You cannot tell a person they cannot bear arms, but you can make it tighter for them to bear arms. And that's what happens. Right? You go to certain states like New York, New Jersey. I lived there when I was at McGuire Air Force Base. New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, up here, where all these blue things are right here, right? They don't want you to have guns. They make it very, very difficult for you to get a gun. And most people don't have them. But here, down in free Georgia, man, you just go buy a gun. And now you don't need to have a license. Right? But let me tell you the problem with not having a license. See, because I got this, I can go out there and buy any gun I want. I can go to Harrison and buy this gun and walk out of here. When I don't have one of these, you know what happens? They have to do a background check on me. 3 hours, 3 days, 5 days. Come back next week and get your gun. After you pass the background check, if you pass the background check.
Caveat.
Huh? Go ahead.
Background check becomes optional.
they can still run a background check on you. It's just optional. They don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that hasn't. And you know, you're right. He's right. But you know why they have?
Already.
Huh?
When they give you your permit, they've already run it.
No, I mean if you don't have it.
Okay, yeah.
Right? You know why? There's a liability now. Everybody wants to. They just got case law, right, where this boy in Appalachian Mountain High School shot these kids and people died. They're going after their parents now, right? Now, how soon is it before people start coming after the gun stores or the gun owners are selling guns? We don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's happening. Don't say I said that. But yeah, they try. So people do background checks on people because what they're not going to do is give you a gun. You don't have one of these. And they're not going to do better. They're going to be back on you and find out you got mental problems. They ain't going to say you no gun.
But at the gun show, they don't run background checks.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know because I do gun shows.
I do.
Yeah.
We used to do gun shows too.
Yes, they will.
The quote unquote gun show loophole. The gun show loophole was to close private sales. I'm not going to get into that on this camera, but private sales is a little bit different. So that was the loophole. But when you go to a gun show, it's just like buying here.
Yep.
There's a whole computer. Background checks are ran by the FBI. Like it's a must. If they find out that you sold somebody a gun and didn't do a background check, they revoke your license. The Biden administration was very heavy with their bipartisan act when it came to FFL revocations. Real heavy on that shit.
That's why people do background checks, right? So when you got one of these, you've already hit.
So the caveat, when you deal with people like me, I'm gonna tell you the things that people like them won't tell you. I'm gonna give it all to you.
That's why he's here.
Thank you.
Right? I can't do those things. I got to stay in the legal parameters of not saying so. Well, there you go. I'm going to stop that. Right? So, so we got Harrison here. Right? So you need to get one of these. Why? Because this here, although you don't need it to carry openly or concealed in Georgia, this here still is a get out of jail free card. Right? And I'll tell you how, because we're going to go over some of that. Right? In the state of Georgia, things are counted as private entities. And if you have one of these, you can get out of trouble. Although you don't have to have one because the governor said you don't have to. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. It sounds confusing, doesn't it? Because although he granted you the right to not get one of these, they did not wipe out all the private property laws that go on, right? For instance, churches, right? If the leadership says we don't want you in the church with a firearm, you probably have to leave unless you got one of these. Then when the police come, and I'm going to go over that too, so I got a slide here. The police come, they'll charge you $100, put you in jail. You don't have one of these, give them a hard time, you can go to jail. Because the church is considered private property.
I thought as long as it was posted, you had to.
That doesn't matter.
No, so we ain't talking about signs. We're going to get into some of that too. Signs don't mean anything in Georgia. They really don't. And that's kind of scary, right? And lawyers will tell you these things, right? Well, people put signs because it's private property and don't want it. Now, if you have, like, for instance, I shouldn't probably say this because now I'm on YouTube. My son works at Whole Foods. I go in Whole Foods all the time. I go to Whole Foods like this. They got a little sign right at the bottom there that says none of this, right? I look at it, keep going. And I keep it covered up. Now, if they see this, because they got a cop that stands up there, he's a big dude too. He stands at the top of the stairs. He's usually standing there like this. What's up, man? I give him some debt. Go my business, right? He's standing there. If I was walking like this, he'd say, hey, man, you can't have that in here. Now, if I said, okay, look, I'm going to leave. Okay? I get out, I go out, no harm, no foul. If I stand and argue with this cop, he decides to arrest me. And he said, where's your license? Well, the government said you have to have a license. You do, which is private property. All right. Now, because you gave him a hard time, there could be a case, there could be a trial, there could be all kinds of things. You can get stuff on your record. It will.
If they actually believe in you, don't. That's criminal trespass.
I have to be both sides, right? Thank you.
I'll carry that charge. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, then he will, right? So now, if I don't have one of these, it's going to be a problem. If I do have one of these, I can get a fine and get this revoked, taken away from me where I can't get it again, ever again. But without one of these, I can go to jail in handcuffs and have a trial, right? So this is still important to have this. You know why it's important? Not just Georgia, although now you have to spend $85 every 5 years. But you know what really happens? If I get in my car and drive down to Disney World and I don't have this, it's going to be a problem. If something happens, it's going to be a problem. When I drive across Mississippi, Alabama, into Louisiana, and something happens, and I don't have this because see this reciprocity map? All of these states, there's Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, there's Louisiana. All of these states accept this. And all of their laws when it comes to carrying are different. That's why when you're a right to bear member, you can call and talk to an attorney in each one. Look, I'm traveling across these 4 states. I need to talk to each one of these attorneys. Can you give me an appointment? Get an appointment, they call you up, you ask your questions, they send you a PDF with the laws and stuff. You got to read through them, research them, as Harrison said, and then you know how to carry and what to do, right? Some of them like open carry, some of them don't like open carry, they want concealed carry. I don't carry open like him. I just think it's dumb. I'm not going to let everybody know I got something. I'm not doing that, right? So when I travel, I make sure I'm always concealed. When I was telling you about that state trooper in Alabama, I had my shirt down. I have more than one when I travel. I had this on, had my shirt down, and my console was right here, and he knocked on this window. I thought he was going to come to the driver's side window. He would never saw it. I wouldn't have made a move. I sat still in my seat and kept my hands at 10 and 2 while he yelled at me through the passenger window. Gave him what he wanted, kept my hands here in case he's looking in the back window. He see my hands here. My hands are not down here, right? I have my stuff, as I said, brought up. See right here? Walmart. When I travel, it's like this. I'll get that later. Oh, my mic. When I travel, so if I have to get it, and I haven't gotten it out already, usually it's pretty quick. I can get it out, have everything ready. When the police, like you say, comes up to the window, have it in my hand. I'm not doing anything. And while it's there, 10 and 2, when I'm talking to the officer, 10 and 2, don't move it. Don't move it. Be kind. Be calm. Right? And if you got the little thing that goes on your mirror, it's got like a 180 view, it's recording. Be calm, be calm. And you can upload to the cloud. Be calm and be calm. Then somebody, he didn't do that. He was cussing at me. No, sir, I was not. Can I show this video to the judge? Guess what? You become a millionaire and you own part of the police department, right? So be kind, be calm. Work that out in your head, right? I know you don't want to. You want to punch somebody in the face. I get that too. Because that day, I guarantee you, I wanted to punch that state trooper in the face. No need this man screaming at me. He was just screaming at me. And I'm very calm. I know what to do. He was screaming at me. But I did white knuckle. I was white knuckling it. Because I want to reach over and punch him in the face. He's screaming at me for no reason. I know how you feel. Be calm. Be cool. All right. So now, understand you need that when you're traveling, you're doing interstate travel. I know you don't have to have it here. If you don't go anywhere, don't worry about getting it. But you still need it for private property. Right? Something happens. Now, if that guy sees your gun and he says, dude, you can't have it, you got to leave here, leave, and you leave and you don't have it, probably nothing going to happen. You give that police officer a hard time and they arrest you and you have it, it's going to get revoked and you'll get a fine. You don't have it, you're going to jail and you're probably going to get something on your record. So is it important to have? Yes. Go to your courtroom, your local courthouse, your probate court, fill out the paperwork, picture, fingerprints, pay you $60 to $65 to $80.
80.
Okay, depends on where you are. All right, I didn't pay 80.
Yeah,
Right, girls
80
different.
now.
I didn't pay 80 then. Well, maybe now. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's 80
It keeps
now.
going up, right? So therefore, get it. It's a shall issue state, which means they will give it to you. Okay, unless you got priors or something like that to investigate. Shall issue. They cannot not give it to you. Okay, understand that? Go get it, especially if you're traveling. All right. Somebody said, we don't need it. The governor said. No, you're right. You don't, but don't make any sense. So, do you need a Georgia carry license? Yes. Why? Reciprocity with other states. Purchasing a firearm. School zones. We're going to talk about that a little bit. If you drive through a school zone with a weapon, you are violating the law. But if you have a license, you drive through. Now, why would they stop you? They wouldn't. But if they stop you for some reason and search your car, which they shouldn't, you still got a license. Okay? If you're going to work, you're taking the kids to school, and you're in outside sales, and you carry because you go in the SWAT, Southwest Atlanta, right? You carry because you do outside sales there for Home Depot. I know somebody does that, right? And they carry because they go into pretty rough areas. But you want to drop the kids off because your wife can't drop the kids off today, and you got your gun on. You see that? As long as you're in that car, you driving through and you got your license, you're good. Now, if they pull you out that car, you're in federal violation right now, right? But You tell a police officer, all those, and no reason for you, but I'm just using the scenario. There's no reason for you not to pull out that car. You tell a police officer, I'm in outside sales, I'm driving to them, dropping the kids off, I'm leaving, I'm going on. Okay, keep it moving. You get out that car to go inside, you got that gun? Oh, Jack, you're going to be in trouble. Please understand that. It's against the law, right? You don't have a license, you're going to really be in trouble. Okay? License is important. Churches, right? I'm going to go over that. I got a slide for that. Why license is important in church. Okay? All right. I usually have a clicker, y'all, so I'm sorry for going back and forth. I forgot my clicker. Yeah, I just click it like that. God damn, I love people like that. All right. So now, to carry or not to carry. Harrison's going to get involved in this. When I say something that's crazy, he's going to stop me from being crazy, right? Or he's going to give you another perspective. Can you carry in the airports? Yes, you can.
As long as you have it in your safe, right?
No.
I thought you had to put it in your safe.
Let me tell you.
Check in when you check.
You go in to pick up your lovely Aunt Rita, right? And
don't worry about it.
Your lovely Aunt Rita, and you're waiting in baggage claim, and Aunt Rita's coming in another 45 minutes. You decide to go to Applebee's, go to Dunkin' Donuts. You can walk all through that airport. You go to the bathroom, everything. When you walk up that TSA, I wouldn't even get close to the TSA with a gun.
They're gonna take it.
Nah, you're gonna go to jail and have a big fine.
And you have to come see me and get that class out of the way.
Yeah, because you're going to go through classes and all that stuff, right? So now there are people that have gone to TSA and went through the checkout line, and they had their little bag, and they decided this little bag, they decided they need a small bag, so they took everything out the bag, put the water bottle and everything in here, and had a bullet that they didn't miss in here. $5,000 fine, and they lock you up.
Yep, that is true.
Yes,
that's true.
You can't have any gun or any ammunition or anything in TSA. So we go to that TSA checkout line.
Pause.
Go ahead.
So, was it this? No, last year I left.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last year I left here, Atlanta, through TSA, all that good stuff, and I get to Las Vegas. I'm out there for a whole week. I'm coming back. Same carry-on bag with my laptop in it that I had leaving Atlanta. I got flagged for 100 rounds of ammunition inside my bag.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How'd you? They missed it in Atlanta?
They missed it. Wait a minute, that's not it. It was three of us. Three of us had rounds in our bags that we left here with.
100 rounds.
And when we got to Vegas, they flagged all three of us. I just told them throw it away. They was like, "You sure?" "Yes, I want to make my flight. Just throw that shit away. I'm not finna go do nothing else." They were cool about it. I even let them know that I flew with the same bag and didn't know it was in there. They were real cool about it.
Vegas.
Threw the rounds away and let me go on my flight out the way. But when I got through the other side, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else that was with me, everybody got flagged for rounds. Everybody had rounds on them. And we didn't shoot while we were in Vegas at all. We left here with those rounds and they found them in Vegas.
I'm only talking about Georgia now.
So,
they catch you. They'd have caught him in Georgia.
No, you good.
There you go. You keep that. They'd have kept him in Georgia. There's going to be a problem. See, each state is different. You know, Vegas still got all kind of people traveling all kind of things, and they kind of like see things. It's like when you're in the desert. He knows he's in Iraq. I was in Desert Storm. He had an amnesty box. So before you get on one of the airplanes that I was responsible for, because I ran the aerial port, right? You had to dump everything in the amnesty box. You had hand grenades in the amnesty box. You had knives in the amnesty. Anything they took off the enemy, you cannot bring them on a government aircraft, right? So you had an amnesty box. You'd be surprised at the stuff they had in there. Now, in Las Vegas, they probably see that all the time. They don't see that in Georgia. They get really, really bent in Georgia, okay? So now, here we go. So you can travel, just don't go through TSA. Now, if you go to Kennesaw National Park, and I happen to walk with, especially when I'm walking at Arabian Mountain Park in Conyers, it's a beautiful park, right? It's at the foot of Arabian Mountain. I carry my firearm, all right? Let's just say you want to do that Kennesaw Mountain because you want to hike the trail, right? You can do everything. As soon as you go to use the bathroom, you're breaking the law because it's a federal building. You can't have a firearm in a federal building. And the buildings on Kennesaw National Park are federal buildings. The park is not, but the buildings are. So for guys, it's easy. We find a tree. That's where we go. You girls is a little bit different.
No, we can
Yeah, you can find a tree. You can find a tree. You can find a tree. You can do that. But I'm just telling you. Here's something else. That's right. Once you get in the building, we already talked about schools and on school ground. You know what they don't have when I'm going to talk about? The post office. If you drive in the parking lot of a post office like this, you're breaking the law. It's a federal building. Can't even be on federal property. Now, I ain't gonna put this on. No, I'm not saying that.
Just skip
Shut up. But keep it moving.
Skip it.
Right? Now, you need to, if you're gonna go in the post office, what you need to do is probably take that thing off and put it in the car somewhere if you're gonna be in there for a few minutes. Or if you go in the post office, you know you're gonna post office, don't wear it. Because if something happens and they find that gun,
Please don't.
you're gonna have an issue. Trust me. It's federal now. It's no longer state. It's federal. And they come at you really, really hard. Okay? So that's on there. Post office. Now, this is what you should know. Mental health facilities, and when you go to a nuclear plant, please don't carry a firearm. Okay?
Please.
I guess do I talk about that? All right. Churches, we're going to have a slide on that. Bars and restaurants, you got to check your state laws. Now, I was in Texas, right? And a friend of mine, he was stationed with me. He used to work for me when I was a lieutenant. He was my sergeant. We're still friends to this day. He's almost 70. We've been friends for 30 plus years, right? Him and his wife and his kids and everything. Several of those folks. And now, he always carries his gun. And we were going into a jazz club because we like jazz music. I like to sing, right? Going to jazz club. And he's stopping. He's got a safe in his car. And I'm going, what you doing, man? Well, if the club gets 50% of their sales from alcohol in the state of Texas, 51, yeah. You can't have a firearm. So he'll take his gun, put it in the safe, leave in his car under the thing where you put it, right? So you got to know the laws.
And it's tricky in Texas because by law, they have to have their sign posted.
Yes.
But you have to know where to sign at.
Yes.
And there's no size limit on it. So when you go in there, you have to
sticker.
You have to quickly identify, does that sign say they serve 51% alcohol? Like if their sales come from 51% of alcohol, you can't have a firearm on you.
My point is, you got to know the laws.
Man, Texas is very
Yeah.
And that's what I said. A lot of these laws was what aggravates people and it trips them up. And that's why I'm glad you guys said what you said. There is no black and white. There is no absolute. So people are frustrated because there are no absolutes. Well, it should, be that. And they get angry about that and say, well, I got caught up in this, but if you guys had just made it plainer.
But if you're a citizen of a country that thrives off corruption, why should it be something concrete? We make our money off criminals. Jail is $1 billion industry. So why would we give you something concrete in black and white if that's how we make our money? No, we'll just keep it gray and let you do what you want.
See, I'm not going to go into those things.
No,
but okay,
right.
I know what he's saying.
Thank you. You said what I've been saying.
Yeah, that's maybe some of it, but some of it is too. They're law-abiding citizens, right? And we want to give them a chance. If you go in some place not knowing and you're violating the law and ignorance is no excuse, but I look at your background and you don't have any priors, you're a law-abiding citizen, you've been a law-abiding citizen, I'm going to cut you a break. I got to give you a break. But in the same instance, if somebody is not a law-abiding citizen and they're coming in there and they're doing something, I'm going to hammer them. I got to take the same law and punish you. So should I punish you the way I punish the bad guy? You got to have some gray in there. That's my take on it. So I understand what Harrison's saying, what you're saying, but there is good in this too, okay? Please understand those things are there to flex, to protect the innocent as well as convict the guilty. All right, don't look at it from one side.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
All right, so now, polling places, don't do it.
Duh.
Leave it.
I thought everybody knew that.
No, leave it home, okay? Take a picture of that if you want to. I can't send it to you, but take pictures of it with your phone, okay? All right, grocery stores, I already say that. You go in Whole Foods, I'm gonna leave it there. They got a little sticker at the bottom of the sliding door. It's at the bottom of the door. It's got a little barrette on it with a line going through it. Doesn't mean anything. I go in there concealed. I go in Kroger concealed. I go in public concealed, right? They decide for whatever reason that they see it because I'm bending over like this and it pops up and somebody, the police, and they start screaming, all right? Police come. I didn't know. You have a license? The governor said I didn't need one. Come on, let's go. Same scenario. Police come. You have a license? Yes, I do. I'm a licensed carrier. This is my third iteration. Okay. Yes, I'm training on it. Yes. All right, come on, let's go. All right. Take me in. Everything's cool. Interview me. Charge me $100. Let me go. If I give them a hard time, charge me $100. Maybe give me a charge and take my license. But my license is like a get out of jail free card. That's why you should get it. Because private property rights still apply. Okay? Now, if you're living out there and you don't want to spend that $80 every 5 years, you don't have to get your license. That was not nice. Okay? All right, you got that? All right. Do I have to notify law enforcement when being pulled over? I think Harrison covered that real. In the state of Georgia, the police officers are expecting you to have a gun. They will not even ask you. The ones that ask you are brand new cops. Whether state troopers or whether local, whether sheriffs or whether local, they're brand new cops. They expect that, right? But now, when you cross the state lines in Alabama, in fact, if you go into South Carolina, you better let them know that you're carrying. Well, I don't know that. That's why you got to know the laws where you go in someplace.
Is there a difference between, like when I was coming up in Arkansas, you had to, as you were, declare your pistols if you had pistols, but if you had shotguns, they didn't care where you went.
Well, there are different laws, yeah. When I tell you this, I was traveling one time. I don't know where I was going, but I was going across Texarkana. You know, that's when Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana meet. They all meet in one corner. It's a little town where you're crossing all 3 states at one time. It's called Texarkana. So we stopped for some reason to use a bathroom or something like that. I was traveling with my wife before I had kids. Traveling with my wife, and I was going to her roommate's wedding, right? And we're leaving certain places and going through Texarkana to get to Dallas. When you drive up, trucks sitting outside with the window down, 2 or 3 shotguns in them, long rifles, just sitting outside, nobody touching them. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is there. Mm-hmm. Everybody got a gun. Wow. It's no big deal. Everybody got guns. We freak out. But I drove up, and when I drove up, I got really nervous because I'm trying to find a place to park. Big Ford F-150, Dodge Ram, Chevy Silverado. This one got 2 guns. This one got 1. This one got 3 guns. Racks in there. All the windows down. People in the place. Getting sodas, getting coffee. Nobody's messing with anything. That's Texarkana. So yeah, every place is different. You can carry a long rifle here openly in Georgia. So when somebody's walking down the street with a gun, you can freak out a little bit, but they're not violating the law. They're not violating the law, Harrison.
I agree.
Right? So now if it makes you nervous, I get it. If it puts you on alert, I get it. This is what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you not to be at alert or on alert. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you just be on alert. But you go, this man walking down the street with a gun. And you screaming and acting a fool and stuff. That's Georgia. Right? Kind of mess with you, don't you? So now, don't give the cops a hard time. Don't flinch. Don't do any of that stuff because we're having cops being shot here in Georgia at an alarming rate. If you're a police officer, how many of y'all know? Well, you probably already know. They taught us this in 1981 when I was in the Sheriff's Academy down in Lafayette, right? What's the first rule of law enforcement? Anybody know what the first rule of law enforcement is? That's what they told us. Anybody know what the first rule of law enforcement is? At the end of your shift, go home alive. It's the first rule of law enforcement. I'm just saying. So now, these 2 guys, there was a guy and a girl just recently, day before yesterday, responding to domestic. Both of them were shot. The guy got shot in the leg and pursued the guy and caught him. Right? The 2 sheriff's deputies, the one that was killed the same day or the day apart, one was responding to a fake call. When he got out the car, they lit him up. He died. Another one was another place, lit him up. He died. Both died. 32 and 43. Right? That's just 4 that I know of in the last 6 months here in Georgia. Police are on high alert right now. You want them to come and protect you? Believe me, they're coming hard. They don't know what they're coming into. And I guarantee you, because I asked a Cherokee sheriff deputy, I asked him in 2022, I believe it was. I asked him, I said, is this still the first rule of law enforcement? They're still teaching in Cherokee County. And if your shift, go home alive. That's the first rule of law enforcement. Because I got family and I want to go home to them. I drive up and I tell you to stop and you don't stop. You're not going to win that argument. That's what I was saying earlier. You're not going to win that argument. I don't know you. You may be hard-headed, but you may be a great person. I'll roll up on something. I don't know what I'm rolling into, and you screaming at me, and you got a gun. Even if you got it in your holster, I'm going to yell, gun! Down, down, down. Man, who you think you are, man? I'll be you. That ain't gonna work for you. You are not gonna win that argument. Get down. Let them pick you up. Let them disarm you. Let them handle their business. Because you know what they're thinking? I got an hour and 13 minutes and my shift's over. I'm going home.
And I've been there.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've been in that situation. Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there for everybody that don't like the police. We all ain't bad. All right? Understand there are human beings too. All right. All right, here we go. How's the worship? Let me read this real quick because I want you to do this. This is kind of hard for you to get, but this is the law. If you read Official Code of Georgia Annotated 16-11, right? You're going to worry about houses of worship. But remember, 16 got all the stuff in it. Just read the table of contents and go what you want. 16-11 talks about the house of worship. Here you go. Permission may be given orally and written. Get it right. Permission may not be given selectively. If one individual is granted the right to carry, they all are granted. That is the Georgia law. So if you have a team that is call it life teams or safety teams in the church building, if they're permitted to carry, you can carry. But remember I told you, here's what the law is written. Understand this. Houses of worship have private property right protection. Meaning, I come to your house, right? You know I'm carrying, you cool with me, because we have a relationship for the last 10 years, right? Other person come to your house, he got a gun, you don't know him or her. Say, man, can you leave your gun in your car? No, in your house, that's your right. Private property. Church is the same way. See, if one is allowed to carry, they all can carry. But you can say, friend, can you please leave your firearm? We have people here to protect you. Can you please? If they give you a hard time, I mean, get ugly. It's my Second Amendment right. I know what the law says. OCGA, Official Code of Georgia Annotated 16-11. I know what it say. I can do that. You give you a hard time, and your license holder, right? What can happen is you'll be fined $100. They'll take your license. If you give the cops a really hard time, they'll arrest you, and now you got a problem. Same scenario, same person acting a fool, but you don't have a license, and they ask you to leave, you're going to jail, period. Ain't no get out of free, not no $100 fine, there's no this and no, you're going to jail, they're going to take your license, and they're putting you in jail. And you're probably going to have something on your record. So how important is to have a license? You don't have to have one in the state of Georgia, save you some money, but everything's still on private property rights. So how that works? But if everybody's allowed to carry, one person's allowed to carry, everybody's allowed to carry. Well, because of private property, like your home, if I ask you to leave, please leave. It's like the store, grocery store, and then you got a gun, you need to leave. Okay? What happens if I don't leave?
You going to jail.
And I've done that on my property, and I've done that for events. Like my wife and I, we used to throw a lot of events, and I would see people that say, hey, you can't, you gotta put your weapon in your vehicle. Mm-hmm. So you cannot cross here into this property with that. You gotta.
That's my Second Amendment right, man. You can tell me what to do.
And they be like, well,
a landlord.
They say, well, I ain't.
A landlord can put that in the lease too.
Yeah.
I had that say, well, I'm not coming in there. Can I get my refund on my ticket? Or they'll say, okay, now I'm gonna go put it in the car. I'll be back.
Private property, right? Let's just say he never saw that, and the guy came in with it, he caught it and said, "Hey man, listen, I didn't see you when you came in. Can you leave that in the car?" And he go, because he got that license, he just go out there and put it in the car. All right, man, I'm good. Okay, come back. Same scenario. He didn't catch it, and he got in, and the guy gives him a hard. I've been here for the last 2 hours, man. Why you ain't saying nothing then? Call 911. Guess what? You don't have a license. You have a problem. Serious problem. And it's gonna go on your record. See why it's important to have a license? All right, there you go. Okay, that's in church buildings. It's like that with everything, stores and everything. All right, use of force. This is where Harrison's gonna really get in there because he's got a lot of information, right? I got some things I'm gonna touch on, but I know he's already touched on a lot of stuff when he answered the questions, right? Here we're gonna talk about what can I do, and what I should do. Here you go. What can I do? What should I do? Right? Can you just shoot people?
Yeah,
Say it again. There you go. You can.
But should you?
There you go. That's what we're talking about, right? What we're talking about. And this is why lawyers are really, really important. Because you know some of the law, but then again, you have this law that says, I know that, but then you got something 3 or 4 addendums down or 3 or 4 sections down, that negates that or adds to that or puts stipulations on that. That's the law. That's why you don't go without a lawyer to court, right? That's exactly why you don't do it, right? So now, here's what I should do. Everyone has a right to remain silent, but everybody does not have the ability. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present. With questioning, should you start asking questions anytime during this procedure, you can stop asking questions. You have the right, if you cannot afford an attorney brings it to you, right? As a version, I used to know it, and I can grab it off.
The Miranda right.
Right, the Miranda right. But here's the deal. First of all, they don't have to read your Miranda, number one. And number two, do you know how you get, if you can't afford an attorney, how you get an attorney? Does anybody know how that happens? Does anybody know?
They get appointed to you.
Yeah, but you know why they get appointed to you? All right. In order to get a court-appointed attorney, you have to make below the national poverty line.
Yeah.
$15,060. You make $16,000 a year, you are not getting a court-appointed attorney. You make too much money. Look it up. It was $13,390, and we got richer. It went up to $15,060, right? So now, what happens is you sit there in jail while they're running your I can't afford an attorney, they run your financials. You may sit in jail 2 or 3 days, 4 days till they run it. They ain't gonna rush things for you, right? They got maybe have 100 people in front of you. So you sit there in county lockup till they find your attorney. Find out you make $17,500 a year. They say, no, you got to get your own attorney. Whoop, there it is. Okay? So you do not get an attorney. This is why you decided, I need to tell them my part of the story because, I ain't do nothing wrong. That's what people do. That's a mistake they make. I didn't do anything wrong, so let me tell them my part of the story. All right? So here's my part of the story, scenario. I was sitting in Walmart parking lot. It's Christmas time. I got my grandkids with me, man, and this dude walked up on me, and he put his hand and touched me, and I did what I had to do, man. I was threatened. You just admitted to? Mm-hmm. Manslaughter, murder, malice, whatever it is. You just admitted to that. You just told them pushed out his hand, and you took care of that.
What about the woman, perfect scenario, what he just said? Woman was sitting in the parking lot in her vehicle. It was a road rage incident. The guy followed her around. She parked in the space. She noticed he parked in the vehicle a few hours down. He came down, irate, cussing at her towards the car, talking about what he was going to do to her, all that. She fired. She takes him down. Should she have went to jail? Now, think about it. Here's the loophole that they got her on. I laughed, but it was real and I felt bad. They said, yeah, he came, he was banging on the windows and all of that and talking about he was going to do about harm. But she fired through the window. She didn't let the window down.
You know what? She had a bad attorney.
Yep.
That's all it is. She had a bad attorney.
They got her because she didn't let the damn window down.
She had a bad attorney.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with bad attorney because
She had a bad attorney.
the window serves as a barrier.
Yes.
By you rolling down the window, you're inviting violence inside.
I thought I was going
That's
down.
violent tomorrow. She had a bad attorney.
Yeah, she had a bad attorney.
bad attorney.
That's not a loophole. That's a bad attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, let me say this too, and that's what I want to get to, and I want you to remember this part as I go through this presentation, okay? It does not matter if you did the right thing. Remember this. Stop it. I hear it back. Stop it. It doesn't matter what you did. You could have done the right thing. That does not matter. What matters? That's the only thing that matters is what you can prove. That's it. You've done the right thing. You've been trained.
Or
by
what
double
your
tap
attorney
coalition.
can prove.
Oh, your attorney. That's what I mean. And I'll put that in there. Your attorney, because you don't talk for yourself. Your attorneys talk. What your attorney can prove. When I say your attorney, I mean you. What you can prove. That's all that matters. So understand, a trial is a play. Let me explain to you. It's a play. Okay. In this play, you have a director and producer. Who do you think that person is? The judge. In this play, you have two actors. Who do you think those people are? Prosecuting attorney and a defense attorney. In this play, you have an audience. Who do you think that is?
The jury.
The jury. Right? So now, these two actors with a director to direct the action takes these same facts, understand this, these same facts, and they turn it in such a way to when they're talking to the audience, they're trying to get the audience to say, he is so guilty, there's no reason in the world why that man should not be put under the jail. Or there's other actors saying, if that was your wife, your son, your grandson, and he would have done it, wouldn't you have not wanted your grandson to do the same thing? But they take the same facts with some of those laws that are meant for interpretation, meant to use to put the guilty away, but meant to use to save and protect the innocent. And they take those laws, that's what I'm saying, they lay a bad attorney, and they take those laws and they twist them in such a way to where they're getting the audience to say guilt or innocence. That is a trial. Everybody's entitled to it. Whether they did come to you and grab your wife by the shoulder and try to drag her off, they're entitled to a trial. You don't get to get out of the trial, especially if you maimed them or killed them. They're entitled to a trial. Please understand that. And in that trial, the only thing that matters is what? All that matters. Please remember that. And so this lady you talking about, your lawyer went down, she had a really bad lawyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Her actor did not prove to the audience that if that was your wife in that car, and somebody came up to your wife, cut her off, followed her into a parking lot, got out the car, started beating on her window, and if that lawyer couldn't prove that it was your wife, would you have wanted your wife to stay there and be molested, brutalized, raped, beaten? Would you have allowed that to that audience? They're going, oh, I would have wanted my husband to do. Oh, yeah, I would have killed him too. If they put that lady in jail, that dude was not a good actor.
I'm willing to bet she sat through a self-defense protection class and said, I don't need this. I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
She sat through a presentation and said, I don't need that. Until that damn gavel slammed on her ass.
And that's where people get caught up right there. They know. I'm really calm right now. I'm on film though, so it's got a record of me. I am very calm right now. Harrison's heard me before. I'm usually walking up and down. I'm hitting tables because I'm trying to get people to understand we are so messed up because we are not well represented. Because we don't think we need to be represented. Because, I'm this, I'm that, ain't nobody gonna do me nothing, I'm all that. You talk yourself into something that's not real. And have a very short period of time to get people to understand there's a situation. You could be in that situation and you get trapped by that situation and then you go into jail. Right? I'm very calm. If I didn't have this on, I'd be being me. So
a lot of people, I think, it's too much TV and movies.
Yeah.
yes.
It's too much social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody on social media is a freaking lawyer, a defense attorney,
And that's
an
part of the
investigator.
problem. That's part of the problem.
Another
Yeah.
example of what you said is and I gotta get this, the stupidity was the gentleman got on TikTok. He's got his own, gun channel and talks about gun rights. And he says, yeah, if somebody breaks into your home, fire a warning shot through your ceiling.
Yes, do it. Uncle Joe Biden said,
Yeah,
take
he
that
did.
shotgun and you give him 2 blasts. Yeah, it's going to jail. Do it. Give him a warning shot.
Why would you even want to shoot through your ceiling anyway?
And have to repair damage. Yeah, I know.
Because that's what they said. But you're going to jail, though. I'll tell you that right now.
So here's the deal. You got to be careful of these things, and that's what we try to tell folks. All right? It's really, really important that you understand that. So we're going to talk about the 3 levels of force. Harrison covered this really well, and he covers it really well. I'm just going to do the definitions, and I know he's going to come in with examples, and I think this is important that he does that. Right? I can give you examples too, but he's got really, really good examples, right? So I want him to just come in when he wants to come in, right? So now there's 3 levels of force. There's a threat of force. There is force and there's deadly force. Let's talk about them. Threat of force. Stop or I'll shoot. That's a threat. It's force though, that is force. I have a gun. So now we talked about this earlier scenario. You got 10 guys walking up to you, right? You're overwhelmed. Dude, look. Dude, leave me alone, please. I'm going to protect myself. Please, just leave me alone. If I have to use this, I will use it. That's a threat of force. That is not brandishing, right? Or pointing at another gun at another person. That's not brandishing. We don't have a brandishing law here in Georgia, right? Leave me alone, please. Or, right, the presentation of a firearm. Dude, leave me alone. They got 10 of y'all. They don't know I don't have 10 bullets. But nobody wants to get one. right? That's a Glock 43. Don't get one of those. It was a gift. I have a Canic too. That whole 17. That's better 10. That's okay. Right? I can miss a couple of times. Still get some people, right? Understand? Right? So understand, that's threats of force. Then there's actual force, right? Justified in using threats of force and force when you reasonably believe is necessary to protect against oneself. What is force? Hey, man. Hey, back up. That's force. Jumping on somebody, that's force.
Actually,
using your gun is force too, if they don't die, but it's deadly force.
Well,
force.
Even before you get to using your gun, actually bringing it out in presentation is force.
Yeah, pointing it at somebody.
Yeah, pointing it at somebody is force.
Okay.
And it changes now that we're talking about use of force in self-defense, that being force.
Yes.
Using it as an aggravator is a felony, but in defense of yourself, actually pointing your gun at somebody is force.
Yes.
The only difference between force and deadly force is 3 pounds, or 5 if you got a Glock. It's 5 pounds.
I got
5 pounds.
I got my
of
trigger
pressure.
changes less than 5.
5 pounds of pressure is the difference between force and deadly force. That's the biggest difference.
So understand that there's difference. Okay. Force and threat of force is a different. And when you if you ever go to law school, there's whole sections on that. And when I mean whole sections on it, I mean just because you say, well, it's these 3 right here or this one right. No, this right here can be 20 different things. That's why you have lawyers. So we're giving you something. Harrison will give you something. He's not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. He's experienced. I'm experienced. He has knowledge. I have knowledge. We'll give you some things for everyday things and things we know. But you get into something with a lawyer, he'll bring out, well, I peed on the shoe. Well, that was some type of force. They'll make it force, man. They will make it force because you're aggravating by peeing on their shoe. Right? I mean, they will find a way to do that. That's why an attorney is important. Right? Now, here's the last one. Deadly force. Force intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm. Do you have to have a gun to use deadly force?
No.
Okay. All right. Just so we know that. Right? Actually, your hands can be deadly force. If you're a martial artist or something like that, your hands can be deadly force.
You ain't got to be that.
Yeah.
You're just putting your hands around somebody's throat.
Yeah, that's deadly force.
Deadly force.
Right? So my point is we're talking about guns, but understand deadly force is not just guns. Because folks think, well, if I choked them out, I didn't use deadly force. If you choke out a 90-pound woman and you 225 pounds, that was deadly force. Especially you grabbed her by the throat and just shook her, choked her, until she stopped moving. That's deadly force. That is not force. It's deadly force. Okay? All right. I am very calm now. I just want y'all to know. It's bothering me. It is. It's bothering me. And I'm going slow because I'm being calm. And I like to hit it, man. I'm just going to go with that. Okay.
It's my aura.
That's what it is. It's that. All right.
So zen.
That's what it is. It's zen. You're justified in using threats of force and force when you reasonably believe is necessary to protect against imminent use of unlawful force. You want to talk about that? Because I could, but
I mean, you could.
you walking toward me. Come on.
I was just like,
You walking
Wait,
toward
I'm not
me.
at you. Probably.
so there used to be the theory that in order to use deadly force, the person with you got to use deadly force. Like everybody talking about that. Well, if they got a gun, I got a gun. If they got a bat, I got to have a bat. So basically what we're saying here is if you believe it necessary to against the threat of imminent use of unlawful force. This is great because what do you determine as unlawful force? That is actually the perception of you in the context we're speaking of you being a victim. So what do you consider to be unlawful force? Because unlawful force can turn into deadly force. We're just talking about you choking out a 90-pound woman. So you putting your hands on her is unlawful force. But depending on how far you go, unlawful force can turn into deadly force. So threats of force and force, it's a fine line because that could turn into most times force turns into deadly force.
Yes.
We call a spade a spade. So how do you use force to protect against it? Because your use of force may not stop the use of force against you. It might not. It might not. Imminent use. What about a threat? What about somebody walking towards you at a very fast rate of speed?
That's right.
And threatening you verbally? well, I'm about to do X, Y, Z to you. How do you combat that? You draw your gun on them and they keep coming at you. So you're using force to stop the imminent use of force. They literally are encroaching. It don't take a couple seconds to do this. So they keep coming at you, and all you did was draw your gun and you're giving verbal commands. But that doesn't work. So now you got a split-second decision. Are you going to use these 5 pounds, or are you going to reholster your gun and try to further negotiate the situation?
Stand up for a second. Stand up for a second. Now, I'm going to make a point with what he just said. Come this way. Okay. Stand right here.
Okay.
2 similarly sized men. He's coming at him. He pulls out his gun. He stops him. Now, if you got a really good attorney, or his family's got a really good attorney, this dude going to jail. They're similarly sized men. Come here for a second. Come here.
She said, no.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. I'm done.
Yeah, you done? Same scenario. She walking up on him like that. I want you in the camera. He uses a gun to shoot her. It depends on the lawyers. Depends on the judge. It depends on the audience. Right? This is not black and white. It's not. But if you get a good attorney, can say that this dude should go to jail because he shot this little beautiful little lady. Just shot her dead. He was not a threat. This woman couldn't harm him.
You're right. But the 911 records prove that she was very domestic toward me. So we got history, and that come out in court.
It could be. You see what I mean? Okay, I said thank you. My point is, when you go to the play, all these factors come in. That's the point I'm making. All these factors come in, right? She could have threatened him because it's domestic. He said, I don't have nothing to do with you, girl. And she said, which at that moment, then, I'm going to kill you next time I see you. And she came up on him real hard. And now it goes to trial, right? So now who's right, who's wrong? See, we don't know. This is the play that goes on. This is the dance. Somebody will say, well, she's smaller. Surely she was innocent. You see what I mean? This is what you get into in the play. So it don't matter if what you did was right or wrong. You got to prove what you did. You just don't get to walk away because you thought it was okay and you thought you were doing the right thing. You just don't get to walk away. I got a picture of Laken Riley in here and the guy that killed her. You know, I listened to the testimony and I listened to the closing arguments and I listened to the witness impact statements, right? And then I listened to the prosecution that was supporting this guy. What he did was he said, I understand I'm not being cold-hearted toward the family of Laken Riley, but it's his right to have a defense. And I say that to say this. You don't get to just walk away because you thought you did the right thing. You're going to have to make a defense and justify what you did. That's all I'm saying. And when I showed you these things, I didn't give you a right or wrong, did I? Just showed you these things. Okay? All right. I got to get out of here. I'm way past where we should be.
Way past.
I know.
We started late.
We had questions and stuff. We started like 45 minutes late.
We started about a half hour.
I can make it faster, okay? When can I use deadly force to protect yourself and others, to prevent death and great bodily harm against forcible felonies,
That's the part.
violent and
Talk about
tumultuous?
that part.
We're going to talk about that. As he talked about it, we got to slide on
forcible
it.
felony part.
Okay? To protect your habitation, not your property. What's your habitation?
What's a forcible felony?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, right? Here we go. All right, here you go. Forcible felonies include but not limited to murder. In Georgia, we don't have murder in second degree, we got murder, right? But you have murder in second degree, murder in third degree in different places, right? Burglary in any degree, these are forcible felonies. Robbery, armed robbery, home invasion in any degree. So somebody break in your house without violent tumultuous all the time. Because remember I said somebody break your house 3 o'clock in the morning and they got a mask on and they skulking through your house? Home invasion, right? Kidnapping, hijacking of a vehicle, aircraft or a motor vehicle. Forcible felony. Aggravated stalking. See, you got aggravated stalking and aggravated rape. Aggravated child molestation. I thought any child molestation was aggravated, but there are degrees of aggravation, right? Then you have aggravated sexual battery. I thought any sexual battery was aggravated, right? But you got degrees of that. Arson, terroristic threats, acts of treason, or insurrection. These are all forcible felonies, right? Meaning you can use deadly force to stop these things. Wow.
So if you use deadly force to stop a kidnapping, would that turn it into an attempted kidnapping?
Depends. It
All
depends.
depends on where the needle
Where'd you
drops.
stop him
Yeah.
at? Where'd you stop him at?
Oh, he's dead. He's gone.
Oh, okay.
He's gone. So that was an attempted kidnapping.
Yes, if he's gone. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what he said earlier about having a good lawyer, it was kidnapping until you stopped him.
Yeah.
And the prosecution is going to say it was an attempted kidnapping.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna say.
So was it really kidnapping or an attempted kidnapping? Like, you killed him. There's no other story but yours.
So is that going on the same thing where people back in the day, you know, I'm gonna wait until they swing on me first. I'm gonna wait until they fire at me first, and then
Nah,
I can justify it.
that's more present day. You need proper representation because
Yeah.
the right prosecutor can paint a picture. And I say that because what a lot of people don't know, when a case goes to trial, you got evidence list this big. And the judge might say, I'm only going to allow that much evidence in. And if you get convicted and you get sentenced, they use all the evidence that was unpresented to sentence you. But you don't have all the evidence presented in the case. You got to work with what you have in that discovery packet. And people don't know the inner workings of that. And I feel like because a lot of people don't understand what goes behind that, that's why we get lost a lot of times. Because although it says kidnapping, you killing that person just turned it into an attempted kidnapping. Because the police will come out, their initial job is just to take a report. They're not investigators. They just got to do an initial report on what happened, what they think happened, to turn over
To the prosecutor.
to the detectives who turn the shit over to the prosecutor.
That's great.
So making sure that we step the right way, say the right things, is very important because all these forcible felonies can be flipped to any degree.
And that's the issue. That is the law. So you're looking for a black and white. There is none. Right?
Thank you.
But here's the deal. It's not a bad thing. Because if you're the good guy in this, black and white, if it was black or white, you go to jail.
Yeah.
If you're the good guy. If you're the bad guy, at least you get a trial so somebody can prove that what you did was really bad. So see, don't just look at it from one side. It works for both of us. And that person that did that wrong or did that evil deserves a trial also. They deserve the right to defend themselves.
If they make it.
If they make it. And that's what happened with Lake and Riley. I listened to the closing arguments. I listened to the witness impact statements. He's sitting there stone-faced, and that girl's parents were saying this stuff, and I felt for him, man. I teared up, too, because I see what they're saying. The a brother testified against him. They got video evidence where he was dumping the girl's coat. Everything. But there was still a trial. How can there still be a trial when you got all this evidence?
Open and shut in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has a right to have a defense. That's what you got to understand. Doesn't matter if you did the right thing. It only matters what you can prove. And you don't get to walk away from it because you did the right thing. This man grabbed you in the parking lot at Walmart Christmas time and you fought him off and shot him or stabbed him or kicked him someplace and he bled out. Well, he grabbed me. Look, I got the scratches on me. That person's family want to know what happens. They want to know if you really did something because you took their child at Christmas time. You took somebody's husband at Christmas time. You took somebody's father at Christmas time. But he did it to me. Why are we having this? That's the way it's set up. Everybody gets a chance to tell their story.
Just do it on St. Patty's Day.
All right.
I mean, we got to pick another day.
And here you go. Lake and Riley. That's a picture of her. UGA student. And that's the guy that killed her. Right? And that's at the trial. They got all kind of evidence. Ain't no way in the world this man should have even had a trial. But he deserved a trial. Right? This is what they let out in the public for us. In Florida, a man accused of beating a golfer to death with the golf clubs. And as he's calling, he's trying to kill me. He did kill him. And in Alabama, this dude is on bond. He goes out and commits murder when his ankle based God dies. This is what we got out here. Now you know why we're carrying. Right? So now, here's my thing here. I just wanted to show you. We were talking about this earlier. Say, y'all talked about a lot of stuff I have. I could just skip over this if you want me to. I can skip over this, or I can.
You wanna watch?
I think I want to watch that.
You want to watch this?
I think I want to watch that myself. That just it looks fun.
Yeah, okay. All right. There you go. Let me see.
Oh,
No, go back.
We don't want to see no penguin. I can't shoot a penguin. Personally, I can't.
but I wouldn't.
And you probably could. You know, just,
Man,
bro, man, you got
let it go, man. Come on now. Come on. Why is it not working now?
I want my money back.
Oh my. Why is it not working?
What is something just?
You took a picture of it?
No, it's a video.
Fire the projectionist.
I wonder if is the internet on? Is the internet on? Let me see if the internet's on.
It don't look like it's gonna play now.
I don't look it's gonna play.
No, yeah, the internet's not on. What's the internet here, man?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I didn't know it was
And that's
off.
why I didn't run this live,
I was-
because I didn't know what the internet was.
See, I was. You know what? Amchar, Georgia, Connect. Ask them what the internet is.
Courtney, what's up?
So you know what? I was playing before I left my house, and I didn't check the internet here when I got here because it's not on. So that's the thing.
That would be a question for like Sam Davis.
Sam, you got a Wi-Fi password?
No, it's only like a minute or two.
Okay.
But it's because it's a question.
He said it should be a guest Wi-Fi.
that there's no more guest Wi-Fi.
Oh, he
Well, it
said.
says Amchar, Georgia guest. Yes, it does. Hold on. Wait a minute. Kinetic automatically. Hold on. I found guest.
Talking about Wi-Fi.
Oh, there it is. I found it. If it's
Yeah,
guest, it was
another error
guest.
message popped up too.
Yeah, it just popped up. An error message. Where?
Right there. The orange.
No, that's my what you call it. It says I'm not protected by their internet.
Oh.
I get that.
The range is the one place I don't need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I get that.
My gun don't connect to
Oh
Wi-Fi.
man, it still won't do it.
Goodness, it don't have to.
I don't need
Won't
it.
do it. Still won't do it. Well, man.
Man, you might as well just talk us through this scenario at this point.
All right. So wait a minute. There it is. Hold on. Took it a couple times. Let's see.
The video is age restricted and then you hit the thing.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know the right age. Come on now. Come on. See, it worked at my house on my internet.
Is it? Do you have to?
Maybe try to hit the play in them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, let's try that. It's not playing
I'm
here.
gonna let you be great.
I don't want. But here's the deal. You got this guy. What he's doing is he's got a ring camera on his car, and this guy comes up to break in his car. He goes out to confronts the guy.
I think I've seen this. Yeah, go ahead.
Another guy comes up. Two guys come up. Then the third guy comes up. The first guy he's beating up. The second guy they're beating him up. The third guy comes up. They're throwing each other around. Then a fourth guy comes up, right? And they're beating this guy up. Now they've got him down, beating him up. His wife yells out the window, "The cops are coming on their way!" They run away, get in the car and drive away. Who's at fault there?
He is because he ran out. He ran too.
What if he would have hurt one of those boys? Who would have been at fault?
He would.
What if he'd have killed one of those boys? Who would have been at fault? That's the video. I showed that
Stayed in the
video.
house and called 911.
He did call 911. It's all 911 care. And this is a prosecution. I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this man put himself in harm's way. We heard from the video testimony. His wife said the police were on their way. He went out there and put himself in harm's way. And it's because he went out there and put himself in harm's way. This 17-year-old child is dead. This mother doesn't have her son. This father doesn't have her son. She doesn't have her brother. He has two children. They don't have a father. Speak. His fault.
While we go back to jury deliberation, he's guilty in my book, dog.
Bam! Somebody told me I should be a prosecutor. But bam, that's what happens. And that's what I was trying to show with that, right? Because most people say, well, I was protecting my car. We don't have property protection here. We have people protection. So now he went out there. He was beating that first boy up. I mean, they got pictures on him. He was tearing his boy up. Then the second one came and popped him in the head. Then the third one came, they got him down there kicking him. Then the fourth, and they ran.
Real life story from last year. That happened to me. Only difference is I didn't go outside. There was 8 people outside my house, 2 different vehicles. And it was about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
2 of them had guns. A third one got a gun. And I, just on the surveillance camera, my thing is knowing that they got guns and knowing that in my house, there are other people. Why am I finna engage in the shootout with 8 people? And I got people in my house because I'm exchanging gunfire. Don't think for 1 minute that you're gonna shoot at one person and not get shot back at.
Yeah.
They're gonna return fire.
Went into the
Guaranteed.
house.
And the difference is I got better aim than them because they just shooting at a whole dwelling. They're shooting at a whole building. I'm shooting at one person. and I don't know where those bullets gonna go.
With kids
So
in the
you
house.
have to make the conscientious decision to engage or not. But if I would have engaged, I would have been dead wrong because I can't defend property. If I would have used force and they turned my force into deadly force, I would have been authorized. But again, I walked myself or my family into an ugly situation because they didn't even take $1,000 worth of stuff. It wasn't $1,000 worth of stuff for them to take. And come to find out, they broke in over 132 cars that night. Our house was just on the list.
And prepared not to go to jail. So we don't know what they were. This man, when he charged out there, he knew what those kids had. He knows more than, it was 4 of them. He didn't know that. So if he'd have got one of them and hurt one of them, he went out there and he killed somebody because he went out there. And that's the point I'm trying to make with this video. Like I said, use a lot faster. All right. When you use force, don't talk to police without an attorney. Talking equals statement, and statement equals evidence. You can be arrested for anything, and you can be sued for anything. So that's when I come and tell you about right to bear. You all got right to bear. If you don't have protection right now, and you use and you protect yourself, you defend yourself, understand, I've said enough. I don't have to even go over that anymore. You do not get a free pass. You just don't. Right? You have to justify what you did. If somebody's hurt or injured, you got to justify hurting or injuring them. If somebody dies, you have to justify killing them. Right? Lake and Riley. That guy, video evidence, his brother testified against him, got his blood on his clothes, her blood on his clothes, and it still went to trial. He just chose to do a judge and not a jury because the jury would have put him under the jail. Right? So that's what he chose. Because his defense team says, because he deserves it, he has a right to a defense, his defense team says we'd rather use a judge than use a jury. So it went straight judge. 2 lawyers and a judge. He didn't get to go and be justified and have it be over. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm looking at this and it says weapons of opportunity. So I'm just under the impression and just in the thought that, okay, right there, I would call them if I shot somebody. But this, the way that would read, if I took a hammer and bust you in the head,
Yes.
I can call y'all. Oh, okay.
Weapon of opportunity. If you're a martial artist, you use your hands.
Okay.
And you hit somebody in the soft tissue, right here, and then Adam's apple go down their throat and they die,
Yeah.
your hands are a weapon of opportunity.
Okay.
Any weapon of opportunity is not just a gun. Go ahead.
Okay.
No,
Understand that. It's any weapon. Let you use this ink pen. Or I had a habit with my other keys, right? Especially in the parking lot, walking around like this. So somebody gets me, I get them, man. I get them off me. Then I get them off me, pow, pow, they're gone. They're gone. They're not staying around, right? So now, this here, what if I decide not to use this? What if I get angry? How many of y'all get angry or when you get scared? Besides me, you just get angry, right? And now you got them down, and now you just and you just tearing them up. You didn't use your gun. You use this, and they doing all that, right? That's the problem. Weapon of opportunity, right here. Okay. It's not just your gun. What if how many of y'all use mace or pepper spray? You know it's considered lethal weapons? Although they sell them in Walmart and Kmart. Walmart, not Kmart. They sell them there, Target. They're lethal weapons. People got sprayed with that and gone into anaphylactic shock and died. Okay? All weapons of opportunity. Hammer. You use your door and you slam somebody try to grab you out your car, you take them and you hit their head in the door, and you just keep slamming that door in their head till you see blood, and they bleed out and die. Car in your door is a weapon of opportunity. You defend yourself, you're going to have somebody to talk to, right? So now understand that. So now it's going to go to trial. Before it go to trial, you got to call somebody to help you. Who you calling to help you? Who you calling to get help after the incident? Not Gus. Don't say Ghostbusters. Who you going to call after the incident? You going to call 911, right? So how do you make a 911 call?
Yeah, one of my questions. I forgot that the people that have, like, some people had USCCA and stuff like that.
Hello?
But at the end of the day, they asked the question: should they call their gun protection person first and then call 911, or should they call 911 and then?
Pull out your card right here. Looks like this. We're gonna make a 911
I just
call.
stepped out
Pull
of
that out.
class. I can give you a call back.
Usually I'm
when
done by
teaching.
now, yes. But y'all had a lot of questions, so.
I got you.
Pull out your card. We're gonna make a 911 call.
No problem.
What's the first thing you do to make a 911? Read out number 1.
Make sure the threat has been controlled.
No, you don't. You pick up your phone and start dialing 911. No, you make sure the threat's been controlled. That video, if I'd have shown that video, FBI says when your call, so you call about 3 to 5 people. In that video, that dude, when he went out to protect his car, 4 guys jumped him. First one came out, then the second one came out, then the third one came out, then the guy was driving the car, drove his car up, put it in park, left the door open and drove it and jumped him. It was 4 people jumped. That's when the wife screamed, "The cops are on the right!" And all of them got up off of him and ran. 85% of the time, 3 to 5 people. So before you call 911, you better make sure the area is controlled. All right? What's the second thing you do? Look at number 2. Second thing you do is don't disturb the scene. Right? You get into a gunfight, let's just say it, or a knife fight, and let's just say you stab somebody and you stab them and they pull a knife out and they drop right there and they walked off 10 or 15 or 20 yards and staggered and fell. Now you got to call 911. What you thinking? Well, he died over here. The knife's here. Let me pick this up and drop it and bring it up.
That's the same way we're dragging the body in.
Thank you very much. Fingerprints all on it. How did your fingerprints get on? How did your fingerprints blood? How did that happen? Right? Right? Or you decide to pick up the shells because his body fell over there because they was exchanging gunfire, pick up all the shells and drop them by his body. Well, how your fingerprints go on his 380 shells? You had a 9mm. How did that happen? So you tamper with the evidence. Bam. So you don't tamper with anything. What's the next thing you do? Call 911. So now you're calling 911. Like I said, you get mad when you get scared. How many of y'all get mad when you get scared? Get angry, right? So now you dialing 911, 911. You kicking me, that's why you did. I killed your punk ass. Bam, you're kicking him and stuff like that. Next time you come, I kick. Oh, not 911, it's emergency. After you dial the last one, it starts to record. It does not start to record when it says 911, it's emergency. Everything you just said, you have just admitted to murder. That's what's going to show up on the first day of your trial. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this person with malice, forethought, and evilness in their heart kill this person in cold blood. Let's listen to this 911 tape. Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah, I killed you. I kill you again. And then 911, which emergency.
It's all red.
It's all, there you go. You blinked out, right? So now, this is what you got to say. You got to scream, because after you dial the last one, it starts to record. 911, which emergency. My name is Marshall Irv. I've been the victim of a crime. This is where I am. This is what I'm wearing. You hear me? You screaming.
Say that again.
I've been a victim of a crime. This is where I am. This is what I'm wearing. Please. And if you're mad, just scream it. You hear me? Scream at them. But don't say anything other than that. They can't use that in court. Listen, I need the ambulance here. I need the police here. No, send 2 ambulances. I need the police here, and I need y'all here now. Roger that, sir. You're at this location. You have ambulance and police or dispatch. They're on their way. All right, sir, ma'am, stay on the line. All right, we're going to help you through this. All right, tell us what happened.
Please describe yourself and what you're wearing in those situations.
That's exactly right. And that's all you say. And I have my gun, and no. You're a victim of a crime. This is what you're wearing. This is what happened. You need, not what happened. You need police. You need a fireman. You need an ambulance. You need whoever you need here. And I need them here now. All right, stay on the phone. We're going to talk you through this. Their job is to calm you down and get information. What do you do? Say, stay on the phone. The dispatch. What do you do now? What do you do?
Stay on the phone.
You hang up the phone.
Oh. Okay.
Why do you hang up the phone?
Because you got to call. You got another call, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Hold up, now. Let me throw this in there. They're going to call you right back. What you do now? Because they're going to call you back when you hang up. What do you do?
I don't answer the phone until I talk to the people I got to talk to.
Why don't you answer the phone?
Because I got to talk to them on the phone.
No, you don't answer the phone because you're going to talk. See, if you hang up the phone and they call back, you're going like, you know what? If I don't say something, they're going to think I did something. That's what's going through your head.
Too much information.
Yeah, and you go pick up the phone. All right. Yeah, look, I'm going to tell you what happened now. And he came up on me and I just shot him. And all that's being recorded. Now you say twice you shot the person. You didn't say why you shot him, you just say you killed him. So you don't pick up the phone, right? So now you call your right to bear attorney, right? So what you do is you go on your phone. So I got it right here on the mine. See, I hit that R, I hit that T. Bam. See right there? Bam. Well, that took me 3 seconds. Now, I call them. I say, listen, this is what happened. This is where I am. What I need to do. All right, keep your mouth closed. When they get there, cooperate. When they ask you what happened, tell me to talk to your attorney. And you are not going to speak until you make a statement with your attorney present. That is your right. All right. Make sure everything's around you is okay. Okay, got it? All right, you hang up the phone. Now, that weapon that you had to defend yourself, where is that weapon right now?
On the ground. Wherever it was when I played.
All right, you need to remember a couple of things here. Remember I told you 85% of the time, how many people you attacked by?
35.
3 to 5. Police ain't got there yet. Where's that weapon? Where's that weapon? Police ain't got that yet. 85% of the time you attack by 3 to 5. Let's make it easy. Big Bubba, you stop Big Bubba from hurting you. Big Bubba got 4 first cousins. One named Chad, one named Lil Chad, one named Big Chad. One named Pete, one named Repeat. Okay, got it? Right? What you think they're trying to do with Big Bubba right now? Police ain't got that yet. What they trying to do? Drag Big Bubba out there, right? What you think they're gonna do to get to Big Bubba? Get to you. Where's that weapon you use to defend yourself? Thank you very much. It's in your hand. See, you would have got killed right off. Okay? Now all of a sudden you start seeing a light flash and a little bit, you start hearing, it starts getting brighter and louder and brighter and louder and brighter and louder. It's coming towards you. Okay? And they're rolling up on you. Now that weapon you had in your hand, where is it now? Police riding up on you. Where's that weapon right now? Wait, say it again? Better not be in your hand.
That's what got a gentleman on the live before. He called in, made the 911 call. Y'all heard the story. And he was fighting off some assailants that broke in his house, and he had a butcher knife, and I guess he was fighting them off. Police came in, they saw him, they gave a verbal command, and I guess he was still trying to fight them off, and they ended up taking him out.
He was in black. When you're in black, you're not reasoning. But now you got a chance. You can call your attorney. Your attorney says, when they come, when the police get there, do not tell them what happened. Just answer all their questions, cooperate. They tell you to get down, they're going to hang up the phone. Now the police coming. That weapon you use needs to be someplace, but it don't need to be in your hand. Because you are not, I told you earlier, you are not going to win that argument that day. It's not going to happen for you. Let me tell you straight up. He's a cop. He said, put the gun down, and you walk, man, look, I'm not going to pay your salary. You ain't going to win that argument. It's done for you. So you put that down, you let them figure out who you are. Now you already talked to police. They're talking, all right, sir, this guy's dead. Tell me what happened. Well, sir, I'm going to cooperate with everything you have to say. All right, I'm going to cooperate with you. But my attorney said not to say anything until he or she gets here. And that's what I'm going to do. I invoke my right to be silent. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't. You know how people don't do that? Well, if I don't tell them, they're going to think I did it. That's what people do. Law-abiding citizens say, I need to say what happened because they're going to think I did. That's what criminals all know to keep their mouth closed. You see it all on Law and Order. I want my lawyer. They know what to say. We say, well, look, I did this. I was in the parking lot and he put his hand on my shoulder and I turned around and I fought him off and he put his hand on your shoulder and you killed him?
That's that first 48 episode.
Right? So now you wait your attorney gets there, you make your statement. Right. Now, that's important for you. Yes, ma'am.
So when I don't have my gun, I'm just putting it down. I'm not necessarily putting it up.
No, you're putting it down, yeah.
Just that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I might have it here. And I'm gonna let them see it. As soon as they see gun, I got my hands up.
Yeah.
Huh? No! I got in fact, if you read that, it says have your hands up when the police come. They see gun, they gonna yell gun. You say get down, what you gonna do?
Get down.
I'll pay your salary. No, you're gonna get down.
Yeah, get down.
They're gonna disarm you, right? They're gonna try to search. Ma'am, tell me what happened. I need to know this man's dead. I talked to my attorney. My attorney said we'll make a statement when he gets here. You gotta tell me something. If they start doing that, guess what? You're gonna own the police department. Happened in Cobb County in 2014. I know the police officer retrained Cobb County. He bought a brand new car, paid cash for it. That's how much money they paid him in overtime to train him because the people in Cobb County are still paying for that case from 2014 and that Brave Stadium. They're paying for it right now, right?
Don't disturb casings.
Nothing.
Leave.
So now things are going on. How do I get this protection? Because you need protection. How many of you got health insurance? Raise your hand. Talk to the audience too, right? Are you trying to go out and get sick? Why you spend $3,000, $7,000 a year for premiums if you ain't trying to get sick? You know, because you're a responsible person. Because everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows. But everybody knows somebody who got sick and almost lost everything, right? So you're doing that because you're responsible. You have car insurance? Yes. Why? In case something happens, you're responsible. You want to make sure you're taken care of, right? Right. How many of y'all carry firearms? Is it responsible to have protection so that you don't go bankrupt when that happens? Yes, it's responsible. I don't need that. And that's why we as an individual group of people, black people, we're so misrepresented because we don't have the protection that we need, right? And what happens is when you go to try to get a lawyer, the lawyer will say, all right, listen, my retainer fee is $35,000. You got to pay it up front. Then I charge you $250 to $700 an hour. Can you pay that? Well, no, sir. Is there a payment plan? Well, listen, I'll give you a list.
No, I got one.
Help you. While one of y'all sitting in jail for protecting the other one, the other one's trying to get money together to do that. You don't have to do that because Right to Bear protects you from all that, right? If you're a Right to Bear member, and everybody here is, but everybody online isn't, Right to Bear, you need to call me. You go online, you're not going to get this deal. I'm getting off, right? Right to Bear is $15 a month, okay? What do you get for $15 a month? Look at your sheet right here. Look at your sheet. What do you get for $15 a month? You get 24-hour, 365, 24/7 attorney. No matter what day you call, Christmas, New Year's, 2 o'clock in the morning, attorney has a phone. You talk to an attorney. You do not talk to a customer service agent. Your attorney starts telling you what to do. At 3 o'clock in the morning, when your attorney gets the phone, and all of a sudden you said, hand the phone to the police officer. Talks to the police officer. I'm the person's attorney. This is what I told him to do. This is how you will perform. This is what you will do. That all you get. You get criminal and civil defense because you're gonna get sued civilly after you get after they try to try you criminally. You're gonna get sued civilly. That's what happened to OJ. OJ did not get in trouble for criminal prosecution. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. But he did get in trouble when it came to civil suit, right? Because criminal is beyond a reasonable doubt. 97 to 98%, there's that 3% doubt. Civil is a preponderance of the evidence, 51%.
And here's the interesting thing. I had to do a paper on that because when I was going through my criminal investigations, we had to all do a paper. We had to go through that whole trial, and I had to do a paper on it. Got an A-.
Oh, look at you. He wanted to throw that guy an A-.
A-. I should have got
I shot an A+. Yeah. But the thing is, you're going to get criminal and civil charges. We protect you for both. Okay? Psychological support, whenever you need somebody to talk to, we're going to give you that. Here's a big thing everybody loves for $15 a month. Gun replacement. They're going to take a gun, you might not get it back. You can get a gun back. You use AR-15, you can get AR-15 back. You use a Glock 19, you're not going to get AR-15. You're not going to upgrade, you get Glock 19 back. Okay? All right? You get all that protection, that's $15 a month. Now, let's just say you want to take care of that and do that annually. 15 times 12 is 185. But the only way you get this is part of this group. You have to go through somebody like me because I got to fill all this stuff out here to get this. It's 165 instead of 185. Okay? And you know what that price? It never changes. So if you're 25 right now, you get this. This will be 165 for the next 50 years. No matter if our cost goes up, your cost stays because your costs are locked in. Yes, sir.
I'm glad you said that. So I pay the for me and the wife, right? So I could probably just call them and switch this to the 165 for the year, and where I don't have to keep.
That's what you want, yeah. I'm gonna tell you why. So now, first of all, all these costs are locked in. They don't go up. Okay, understand that, right? But this is what you won't get because you're calling and changing it. Yes, you did do that. See that 165? The first year, you get 14 months for the price of 12, which means your next payment of 165 will not be February 2026. Then it goes on a 12-month cycle. You're not gonna get that. But I'm gonna hook you up at the end. Okay?
Please hook me up.
You're not gonna get that. But you can. Those prices don't go up. See that multi-state? That's $4 a month. 4 times 12 is 48. But we give you for 35 when you pay it up front. And it doesn't change. That means you have a lawyer in all 50 states. You know what I showed you that thing before? All 50 states, including what I call communist America, New York, New Jersey.
And if they're not happy with their attorney, can they request an attorney?
Here's the deal: you don't have to use our attorneys. We'll get your attorney. We just want your cousin Vinny. We won't do that, okay? Because we're going to make sure the attorney we're spending our money on is a reputable attorney. Okay? You want to get the Cochran Group that saved OJ? We'll get the Cochran Group for you. Right? He's gone. Kardashian's gone, but we'll get that group for you, right? Because they're a reputable firm. You don't have to use our attorneys. So that $15 also covers that. Got it? Right? You don't have to use our attorney. You can use your attorney. All right? Let me get down. See that bail bonds? I have that too. That's a $100,000 bond. You got $1 million bail? Got to come with 10%. What's 10% of $1 million?
100,000.
Whoop, there it is. So you got up to $1 million in bail right here, right? So, and right here, minor child, all your children under 17 years of age, your lawyer is their lawyer, wherever they go. You got a 50-state plan, you go to Disney World, they get in trouble at Disney World, their lawyer is your lawyer, right? Now here's the deal. All these annual costs up here, let's say you want to cover your whole family. All of this on this page is $515. with the startup fee. If you go online, it's $600. But we're doing something while I'm here. See, all this right here for you and your spouse is $380 with no startup fees. Right? So that's $380. Your next payment of $380, what covers your entire family, is not until February 2026. And it doesn't go up for you. Right? So you don't have to worry about it. If you can't afford upfront cost, you just pay the monthly. Right? So that's 15 times 4 is 19 times 4 is 23 times 4 is 27. $27 plus 23 is $50 a month. Your whole family's covered. If you pay for it annually, $50 a month times 12 is more than $380. Right? So you're getting a discount. All right. Now I'm about to stop here. I'm going to say this, and because you had questions at the beginning. So we have, what is habitation? Habitation, justified use of delayed force. When your habitation is violent or tumultuous, we talked about that. Is your car habitation?
No.
What if you're in it?
No.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Your car's not habitation if you're not in it.
Habitation is wherever I am.
If you're in a hotel, is that your habitation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Anywhere where you
at.
Yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere where you are, you use deadly force to protect yourself and others. Okay?
Have it. Got it.
All right, there you go. Stand your ground. This is good right here. There are states in stand your ground that don't have stand your ground. These are states that do have stand your ground, meaning you do not have a duty to retreat. Georgia's one of them. My home state of Louisiana is another one.
So what are they? Can you name one?
They're right there. The states do Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan. There's 25 of them. You got more turning over every day trying to get right to bed. Duty to stand your ground. Right? Stand your ground is important. That means you do not have to run out. Because if you're in a state that doesn't have stand your ground laws, you have to actually retreat. If there's a window or a door, you have to try to get out. But you don't have to do that in Georgia. You stand your ground and you stop. Now, let me tell you what happened with Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery, during that case, they decided to remove the citizen arrest from stand your ground. So right now, if somebody broke in your house, you got the bead on them, you cannot hold them because that's kidnapping.
That's true.
Because of that case.
That pissed me off.
It was dumb. So now somebody's taking from me and they're trying to get out, you gotta let them take it. Or you can take your chances. That's on tape, I shouldn't say that. Or you can stop them. And it's your word against theirs, I wouldn't do that. But now, if somebody's taking something, you pull your gun and say, stop, I'm calling the police. And they go, nah, dude, I'm going out. They're backing out, you cannot shoot them. You can't hold them.
Not even in the knee. I'm gonna kill him.
For sure you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Right on.
You know, some people go back, well, that's a citizen's arrest.
Michael Draker, if you know that case, Michael Draker, Florida in 2018. This guy right here parked his car in the handicap zone. He had his girlfriend and his kids in the car. Michael Draker came over and wanted to be a handicap zone police, right? Started knocking on the window, started threatening her. He came out, pushed the guy off his car. Man, leave that woman alone. This guy, before he got up, he's on the ground, he pulled a gun. This guy who pushed him down was turned away to go away. He shot him and killed him. Well, he didn't kill him right there. He went in the store and died in front of his child. Right? Because Michael Draker decided he wanted to be the handicap sticker police. Right? So now what happened was, that's when the NBA and the NRA and the AACP got together and said, no, this guy's guilty. Because they found this guy not guilty. And the NAACP and the NRA said, no, this guy's guilty. And they reversed that. That guy went to jail. Just because he did not stand any ground. And this guy he's turning. When he pulled a gun, he's turning away like that. He shot him. The guy walked in the store, stumbled and died in front of his child. Okay? There are always consequences. Stand your ground is really, really important. But for these two guys, it would have worked for him. Who would have stand your ground and worked for in Ahmaud Arbery's case? The guys who attacked him, Ahmaud Arbery.
Say again?
Who would have stand your ground and worked for? The guys who attacked Ahmaud Arbery or Ahmaud Arbery?
Ahmaud Arbery.
That's right, because he was attacked. Stand your ground would have worked for him, not the three guys. But what they did was they took stand your ground and took it apart. And to get those three guys to say, listen, you cannot hold anybody anymore. That's just craziness. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So now, if you stand your ground and somebody decides to run out, you decide to take them out. It's your word against theirs. But if the police come and you're holding them, you can get a kidnapping charge. Because the kidnapping statute is gone. Wow. Jacked up, isn't it? All right, castle doctrine. It's a doctrine. Your home is your what? You can defend your home. Okay? Simple. In Georgia, there it is, 16-3-23, OCG, castle doctrine. Got it?
Yep.
Take a picture of it. You got to read OCGA 16. Go down table of contents. All right, here's a few reminders and we're at the end. Anytime you use a gun, you're using deadly force. Got that? That's why you don't pull it unless you plan on using it. He already brought that to your attention, right? You pull out and point at somebody, if they feel threatened, you're going to jail for 20 years. All you got to do is feel threatened. I thought he's going to kill me. You're going to jail for 20 years in the state of Georgia. Listen to me, 20. No priors, okay? Mentally prepare yourself for different scenarios. If you can, we already talked about this. Are you mentally prepared to take another person's life? In Georgia, in gangs, they kill people to get into a gang. So a pregnant girl comes up to you because her gang is her family. They're going to take care of her and that child. Points a gun at you. Are you willing to kill a pregnant person? Excuse me, woman. I ain't going to say person because there's a certain group that thinks there are pregnant people that men get pregnant. I ain't getting into that. But that ain't right. Are you willing to kill a pregnant woman?
Yep.
Or are you willing to kill an 11-year-old child that wants to get in the gang and has to kill you to do it?
Give them the whole magazine.
There you go. Here's the point. Exactly. If you're going, these are things you got to work out, scenarios. As you said, you're working them out in your head. What if something happened? You got to be willing to pull that trigger.
Shit don't
or it could
bother
be
me,
the end
man.
of your life.
Shit don't bother me. I seen it done already, so shit don't bother me.
Okay?
Seen an 11-year-old boy, seen his brains all the way across the road.
Went home and had dinner.
No, I didn't. I went to therapy.
Went to
But
therapy?
then, when I got over this
Oh,
shit,
that was in Iraq? You in
it was
Iraq?
like, shit. Like, huh?
You had dinner.
After therapy.
I had dinner, period. But I went to therapy, too, though. It's just like, yeah.
My point is, it always messes with you, but you got to understand, do you want to be with your family or not? And somebody deciding their family, in order for them to be with their family, they have to kill you to be with their family, to be in the gang. All right. What if someone sees me and doesn't know I'm a good guy? Right? These are things to remind yourself. I always tell them, you're right now you're in Walmart, Christmas time. Your grandkids are messing with you. They want to go with the bikes. You're over in pillows with your wife. I gotta watch. I gotta look at pillows with this woman. You're over in pillows with your wife, right? And the kids, come on, grandma. All right, go over there. You're gonna be over there, right? You go over there, right? All of a sudden, you're over in pillows. All of a sudden, you start hearing, bah, 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 bah. Somebody come in Walmart acting a fool. What's your first inclination now? What are you gonna do?
Run away kids at.
Exactly. Now, you got your gun on you. You running like this through the store?
Dumb move.
Dumb move. Why is that a dumb move?
Because who knows that you're the good
They don't
guy?
know that you're not.
Thank you. That's all I want you to think about. You got to think about these things, right? Nobody knows that. So now what you're doing is you're running through the store and all of a sudden the police are on the scene. They see you running, all you do is run towards your kids. All of a sudden they see you and they go, gun, pow, pow, pow. You gone, right? Now you can run like this and get over there. And then when you get there, do you pull it out? You try to get out.
Yep, just leave.
Be a great witness. Don't be a hero. Because you got your kids out and you're gone.
Be
Right?
a good witness. I paid $600 for this Glock, and you want me to be a witness?
Right. Right here. You do not shoot to kill. You shoot to what? You shoot to stop a threat. That's all you did. You're not, I killed that. No. I stopped the threat. He was trying to hurt my family.
I just tell people, make it out alive. Whatever that means to you.
Yeah. Same way with my bank scenario. You know, when he turned the weapon, boom. That was it. You see what I'm saying? The
So-
threat was neutralized. Everybody was okay. You know.
And that's what you want to do. You shoot to neutralize a threat. You do whatever you do to protect yourself to neutralize the threat. That is it. It's very, very simple. All right. So that is a presentation. Like I said, it could have been shorter, but y'all had a lot of questions. And I could have been, if I wasn't recording that, I would have really been off the chain.